It feels like every week a new AI video tool pops up, making the testing phase a genuine nightmare for creators. I've spent serious time sifting through the text-to-video platforms, the avatar generators, and the clip creators to find what truly works. We're going to break these down into clear categories so you can jump straight to the tech that solves your current problem. But first up, let's tackle the very popular and sometimes uncanny world of AI avatars. This is the technology that lets a digital presenter read your script, meaning you never have to step in front of the camera yourself. Honestly, this entire avatar space is getting unbelievably advanced in just a short time. Many tools can generate a presenter that looks mostly human, but the quality gap between good and bad is massive. The difference often comes down to subtle cues like mouth movement and timing accuracy, which truly sell the illusion. For my money, Synthesia still sets the industry benchmark for pure avatar realism and synchronization quality. They maintain a huge library of digital faces, allowing you to audition various presets with a quick demo play before you commit to one. Once you move past the sign-up, the user interface is quite intuitive, relying heavily on simple drag-and-drop functionality. You'll find a familiar timeline, dedicated scene blocks to organize your segments, and a clear script input box. The customization options for the presenter and voice are clearly laid out on the side panel for easy tweaking. You simply type or paste your dialogue, select your preferred avatar and voice profile, and then adjust minor pacing elements. Then comes the final generation step, which renders out that crisp, perfectly lip-synced video clip you need. The free tier is a great starting point, giving you access to a handful of standard avatars and voices. However, be aware that these initial test clips are intentionally watermarked, and your voice options will be limited. Upgrading unlocks the full suite, including access to premium voices and the ability to create your own custom digital lookalikes. Pricing generally follows a usage-based model, scaling up as you require more video minutes or access to the highest tier voices. For anyone needing a very fast, polished explainer video without the hassle of hiring talent or booking a studio, this path is solid. But realistically, these excellent avatars are just one component in the larger modern content creation puzzle. The next level involves all-in-one workflows that claim to handle script writing, B-roll sourcing, voiceovers, and initial editing. If you desire a single platform to shepherd your project from initial idea straight through to the final upload, tools like InVideo aim to be your Swiss Army knife. The central concept is simple. You feed the AI a topic and some basic tone instructions, and it builds the whole package. I tested this with a prompt about the top 5 must-see spots in Queensland for a fun, upbeat American male voice. The platform successfully spun out a portrait-length clip, selected relevant stock footage, and even suggested initial on-screen captions. You'll notice that the low-resolution preview renders very quickly, designed for fast iteration, and the watermark disappears upon payment for the final export. Where these all-in-one solutions truly win is in sheer convenience, eliminating the manual hunt for B-roll and the tedious clip stitching. However, their primary vulnerability is often an over-reliance on very standard, templated stock assets and edits. If your brand demands a highly specific visual moment or a truly unique tone, expect to dive in and manually swap out certain suggested shots. The general pricing structure mirrors others. A free tier with strict limits on weekly exports and standard 480p previews. Paid tiers unlock HD or 4K exports, offer voice cloning, and give you a larger monthly allowance of generated minutes. Now let's pivot to the area of AI video that is currently experiencing the most explosive growth. True clip generation. These text-to-clip engines are designed to synthesize entirely original video files from nothing more than a simple text prompt. Instead of assembling existing stock, these tools are literally creating brand new visual moments based on your imagination. My personal tests included prompting for a camel in a nightclub sipping a cocktail, which yielded wonderfully varied results. Across the board, the output quality ranges from charmingly weird artifacts to shockingly photorealistic short clips. Movement fidelity can be subtle unless you specifically prompt the AI to include dynamic action within the scene. Let's look at 3 major players in this text-to-video space and their core strengths. First, Hyper excels at being super accessible and allows for very rapid iterations, which is great for quick experimentation. Be mindful that free tier hyperclips usually carry a watermark and are subject to very short clip length restrictions. Runway ML, with its new Generation 3 models, is arguably the most well-rounded offering for the series creator. It is demonstrating some of the best visual realism right now, especially concerning lighting and depth of field. Crucially, Runway is more than just a generator. It's a full creative suite where you can animate existing images or build footage from scratch. If high fidelity is your top priority and you need built-in editing capabilities, Runway becomes a very compelling choice. Their pricing model offers a decent free plan, but access to the very latest Gen 3 models typically requires a paid subscription. Next up is Luma Dream Machine, which consistently produces visually stunning and incredibly fast renders. Luma provides users with substantial customization controls and showcases incredible example prompts right on its main page. The results can feel almost cinematic, though sometimes they step into the uncanny valley, making them a true playground for imagination. Luma typically utilizes a tiered credit system, starting with a generous starter allotment and scaling up to thousands of renders for heavy users. My ultimate verdict on these 3 is that there simply is no single tool that perfectly fits every single creative use case. Hyper is fantastic for quick, playful, and experimental short clips when speed is key. Runway generally provides the most realistic output and integrates best if you plan to continue editing the footage in another program. Luma excels when you are specifically aiming for a more stylized, artistic, or cinematic final product. Try running the exact same prompt through all 3 to instantly see their unique strengths and weaknesses firsthand. That comparative testing process should be what ultimately guides you toward the best tool for your specific project needs. So where does Vizard fit into this exciting but fragmented AI video ecosystem we've just explored? Vizard deliberately chooses not to generate novel footage from text or build you an AI presenter avatar. Instead, its genius lies in being a powerful efficiency machine specifically built for creators working with long-form content. If you routinely produce podcasts, live streams, or long lectures, Vizard is the specialist tool for repurposing that into consistent short clips. Here are the 3 key functions I personally rely on most when I'm scaling my own content output. The first pillar is its ability to auto-edit viral clips by analyzing your long videos for high engagement moments. This feature eliminates the agonizing manual task of scrubbing through hours of raw footage just to find a few golden seconds. The second crucial function is the auto-schedule feature, which takes the guesswork out of your posting cadence. You just set your desired frequency, and Vizard queues up the clips to post automatically according to your established rhythm. Finally, the content calendar acts as your centralized command center for managing every single piece of short-form content. Need to adjust the sequence of posts for the entire upcoming week? You can do that right there in the same interface. You can also jump into any selected clip to refine the caption or make minor edits before it ever goes live to the public. Practically speaking, if you are a content creator trying to dramatically scale your output across TikTok, Shorts, and Reels, this saves you hours daily. The key is that you are leveraging the valuable content you have already produced instead of constantly paying for new stock or generation. This makes Vizard the perfect amplification engine, especially once you've established a solid long-form video foundation. Now let's circle back and look at the trade-offs. No single tool is a magic bullet that solves every single creation problem. Avatar platforms like Synthesia are fantastic for highly scripted corporate explainer videos, but they can feel stiff for authentic reaction content. All-in-one tools deliver speed for an initial draft, yet they often default to a very recognizable, stock-heavy aesthetic. If maintaining your unique on-screen personality or specific footage library is important, you will inevitably spend time manually overriding those defaults. The new generative clip tools, Hyper, Runway, and Luma, are incredible for pure visual invention from text prompts. However, they do not inherently solve the pipeline problem of taking your existing long-form interviews or webinars and quickly segmenting them. Furthermore, those brand new generated clips might require extra editing work to perfectly match the vibe of your target social platform. Vizard's own limitation is that it cannot invent entirely new visuals or create a brand new synthetic character for you. If your only goal is to use text to dream up an entirely novel scene, then Vizard simply isn't the right instrument for that specific job. What it does with extreme proficiency is take your raw long-form interviews and transform them into consistent scheduled short-form assets with minimal human intervention. That capability represents a different, often underestimated type of creative power that delivers massive productivity gains. Regarding pricing, nearly every major platform offers a path to try things out for free, but usually with handcuffs like watermarks or minute caps. Synthesia's free tier lets you test a few avatars, but you will quickly run into hard limits if you want custom talent or extensive monthly minutes. InVideo's free option gives you limited exports at a lower resolution, reserving the best quality and features for paying subscribers. With the generative tools like Hyper and Luma, those initial credits for experimenting can stack up surprisingly fast if you're iterating a lot. Runway provides a solid free starting point, but premium access to their most powerful generation models requires a paid subscription tier. When considering Vizard's price point, you must immediately frame its cost as a direct measure of the time you will save each week. If you are currently spending 5 to 10 hours manually clipping, captioning, and scheduling your shorts, Vizard automates that entire block. That reclaimed time is your return on investment, freeing you up to focus solely on creating more of that high-value long-form source material. So what's the final recommendation when faced with this entire landscape of possibilities? For a stunningly realistic talking head explainer with minimal production effort, go test out Synthesia first. If you prefer an all-in-one solution and are okay with a little bit of that templated magic, then InVideo is worth exploring. When you are purely experimenting with imaginative visuals synthesized from scratch via text, play around in Hyper, Runway, and Luma. Runway often feels the most realistic and integrates best if you want to continue developing the footage further in a dedicated editor. But if your actual day-to-day grind involves scaling content from podcasts, streams, or interviews, Vizard is the quiet hero you need. It's not creating flashy, generative cinematic masterpieces, but it quietly makes your entire life exponentially more productive. The core benefit is turning those long videos into a consistent, scheduled stream of optimized short clips without the usual bottlenecks. My overarching advice is to actively try the free versions of these tools to benchmark the outputs against your own brand standards. The AI landscape is shifting incredibly fast, with major new models and features rolling out seemingly every single month now. So the best strategy is always to experiment, iterate often, and build the final software combo that perfectly meshes with your specific workflow. If you want to see a detailed walkthrough of how I took one 40-minute podcast episode and spun it into 20 social shorts in a single afternoon using Vizard, let me know in the comments. I can easily show you how I supplement that with a clip generator for a few necessary promotional snippets. Ultimately, remember that there is no single champion that dominates every single category of AI video creation. For realistic talking heads, lean on Synthesia. For creative synthesis, check out Runway or Luma. And for pure repurposing scale, Vizard is the one that handles the back-end lift. It's that quiet automation of the repetitive tasks that truly begins to compound your content output in the long run. I'll catch you in the next deep dive session to explore more of these powerful new creative frontiers. And hey, If you need links or a super detailed example workflow for any of these platforms, I'll be sure to drop those in the description below or cover them in a follow-up. Until then, keep creating efficiently and peace out from this AI testing lab.